Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Mark is off tonight. Well, time is running out in Olympia. The Washington state legislative session's entering its final weeks, and new laws are starting to take shape. Dozens of bills died during last Tuesday's cutoff. Tonight, KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk reports.
A bill to lower Washington's blood alcohol concentration limit from 0.08 to 0.05 did not receive enough support this legislative session. Bars and restaurant lobbies raised concerns. The bill's sponsor says it'll be back next year. Right before Tuesday's deadline, the House passed a bill to cap rent increases at 7% a year. The bill did not get any Republican support, and it's unclear if it'll pass in the Senate. The Republican House leader worries it will scare developers away and compared it to communism.
The way you bring price down is through increasing supply. We have seen throughout history, including but not limited to Soviet Russia, that establishing price controls as a means to ration scarce goods does not work and leads to much worse outcomes for everybody involved.
6 initiatives backed by conservatives have qualified for the November ballot and could dramatically change state policies passed over the past decade. Legislators have the option of taking them up or passing alternatives. Last week, we learned there will be some action on 3 of those initiatives this session, dealing with parental rights, a ban on income tax, and rolling back restrictions on police pursuits. Democrats want to send the other 3 initiatives straight to voters, including the initiative to allow an opt-out option for the current long-term care payroll deduction, and the other one to repeal the state's Climate Commitment Act. Voters will also decide on capital gains tax repeal, which generates more than $1 billion a year for child care support. Many Democrats hope that initiative fails in November.
The capital gains initiative, if it passed, would devastate our funding for child care. We have a child care crisis. We have bipartisan support because it is so important on so many levels.
With time running out, supporters of a bill being called a stripper's Bill of Rights worry it won't pass in time.
We strip our clothes! Not our pay! We strip our clothes! Not our pay!
The bill includes new safety training rules, a requirement for panic buttons to be installed, mandate clubs hire security, and repeal a law restricting establishments from having both liquor licenses and full or partial nudity. The current session ends on March 7th. Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
I'll take a look now at other national headlines tonight. California is facing severe rain and flooding all across the state. A creek in Santa Barbara is now a raging river, flooding roads and tearing away the pavement. The storm's hitting right as cleanup still underway from the last atmospheric river, including a landslide that destroyed a home and cars in a Los Angeles neighborhood. Almost 40 million people are under weather alerts with more rain in the forecast. Now on that note, let's talk weather here in the inland Northwest and for Spokane. We're also looking at some rain, though maybe not quite like that. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Lagoud tonight to find out more. Hey there, Jeremy.
Hey, and when it comes to the overall weather pattern, we are catching a bit of a break right now. A couple of breaks in the clouds, but get this, our temperatures still staying in the mid-30s. That's above freezing in case you were wondering. Our storm sitting off the coast, still throwing waves of energy at us. There's the storm center. Here comes all that moisture, and notice the direction at which it flows. It's coming in from the south, and that means things continue to warm up. There's our next wave. It's already working its way toward us. We've been watching that one all night long. It doesn't hit us until early tomorrow morning. It's bringing a little bit of moisture to central Washington, Moses Lake, Othello, you're in it, Tri-Cities. You'll see a little bit of activity. What we wind up getting is more widespread showers as we start the day. Those then turn into kind of on and off showers by the afternoon. So morning is where we get a bulk of our moisture. Tomorrow afternoon, most of that is up in the mountains and moving out of the region. By the time we get to Wednesday, it looks like those showers are going to be kind of more sparse in nature. But get this, I think we have enough atmospheric dynamics to say we can't totally rule out a shower. However, on Thursday, mostly cloudy and dry with temps in the mid-40s.
Well, it has now been 5 years since Washington became the first in the nation to offer human composting as an alternative to traditional burials or cremations. But how exactly does it work? Seattle-based company Earth turns human remains into soil inside a Western Washington warehouse. They clean and wrap the remains in a plant-based shroud and place them on a bed of mulch, wood chips, and wildflowers. That's all enclosed in a vessel that's slowly rotated, and in about 6 weeks, it turns into soil.
You can have this gentle natural process that's net carbon neutral, that transforms you into soil, and then this soil is used for reforestation and whatever personal memorialization you would wish for.
And as it turns out, it's now a growing industry. Only one person chose procedure back in 2020, but more than 100 people were composted in 2021. That number more than doubled the next year. All right, now let's go to Nightbeat for a quick look at the day's top stories. We have new information about a fire in Idaho late last night. According to the KREM fire chief, that fire wasn't fully contained until 8:30 this morning. The fire completely destroyed the roadside bar and grill between Main Street and Hill Street. You can see just how big the flames and the smoke got. Officials declared the building a total loss. The surrounding buildings were minorly damaged by smoke and water. The fire chief told KREM 2 no one was hurt in the fire, but crews were on scene for about 24 hours trying to put it out. The cause is still under investigation. Tonight, the Grant County Sheriff's Office is looking for information after a 19-year-old was shot 5 times late Saturday night. Deputies say they and Moses Lake Police responded to a shooting call after 1 o'clock early in the morning near March Drive and Biggs Drive. First responders shot a man, first responders found a man shot. He's now being treated at an area hospital. They're asking anyone with information to call the number at the bottom of your screen. And a woman who died in a shooting in northeast Spokane last week. Spokane police say on Friday a man met with a group of teenagers to try and get back his stolen property. At some point, the teens drove off and fired several shots. Police chased them and pulled them over. In the car, they found a woman shot in the head. Police are not saying exactly who shot her. 4 of those teens are in custody. All of them face several charges, including attempted robbery, conspiracy to commit robbery, and assault. They could face more charges. And that was your Nightbeat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website, KREM.com. Well, in our Boomtown series, we're tracking the growth and the growing pains of life here in the Inland Northwest. Spokane's facing a shortage of affordable housing, but if the U.S. Senate passes a bipartisan tax package, it could mean more than 1,700 new low-income homes across Washington. Senator Maria Cantwell and Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown spoke today, calling attention to the package. Expanding it would increase the number of low-income housing tax credits, which would lead to more affordable housing.
Spokane is facing an affordable housing crisis. We need more housing and we need it quickly. Today, we're happy to be here with Senator Cantwell, calling on the U.S. Senate to pass the bipartisan tax package that will significantly boost the low-income housing tax credit program.
The House passed the tax package on January 31st. It now heads to the Senate and onto President Biden's desk if it passes. Meantime, in Idaho, officials are going to the state Supreme Court to see if they can ban gender-affirming treatments for minors. It's an emergency request made Friday by the Attorney General. A law signed by Governor Brad Little last year makes it a felony for doctors to give any medical treatment to transgender minors. A U.S. District Court temporarily blocked the law from taking effect last year, and an appeals court upheld that ruling. Now the state wants the Supreme Court to overturn the decision. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.